Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Devils TV. Now this might be a bit late, but it's just a video that I just wanted to quickly talk about. So obviously Manchester United's Europa League fixtures today was announced, and we are playing the Barcelona in the knockouts round of 32. So what does that mean? So obviously, firstly, it means we're playing Barcelona, and secondly, obviously, I think we're playing the Camp Nou at first, and then it'll be Old Trafford in the second leg. I think that's what it is, or the other way around. I'm pretty sure it's the Camp Nou though in the first leg, and then obviously Old Trafford second leg. So what does that mean? So obviously that fixture will be between January and February time. So obviously we will be back on track with the Premier League, as well as the World Cup will be over by then, obviously. So really it's a good fixture. It's not going to be a boring game, that's for sure. But, and I say but, I was one of them fans who kind of wanted an easier fixture, because obviously you want an easier fixture because obviously you've got game after game after game, and you kind of want to try and get the easier fixtures. But United, as always get the short straw, should we say, where we get the tougher opponents. So yes, Manchester United versus Barcelona is obviously our round of 32 game. So obviously we wanted to try and avoid this by not playing this extra 2 games. But at the end of the day, you know, it's football, it's going to happen. And you know what? It means that one of the big dogs goes out, but really, because United were one of the favourites to win the Europa League. And then obviously when Barcelona has come down from the Champions League to the Europa League, they are apparently now the favourites. I mean, Paul Scholes even said that in his interview when United beat Real Sociedad, but obviously didn't get the second goal to obviously go on top and go straight to the round of 16. So Paul Scholes turned around and said about how he doesn't want a boring fixture. He said he'd like, I think he said, I quote, he wanted Manchester United versus Barcelona or Juventus. So Paul Scholes, you've got your wish, so well done on that. I personally think that with Ten Hag's first season, we want to try and it's a catch-22 really, because do we want to go deep into Europa League and risk not getting top 4 to risk getting Champions League football by winning the Europa League? Or do we sacrifice the Europa League, accept that we're not going to win it, and try and challenge for top 4? Because really, Ten Hag does not have the squad to be going deep into the Europa League, challenging for top 4, and surviving the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. You're going to have to sacrifice some competitions, whether it's the Premier League, Europa League, FA Cup, or Carabao Cup. So I feel like he'll sacrifice the Carabao Cup, really. I don't think that's a big enough trophy for Ten Hag, but this is the thing. Ten Hag talks about winning every single game, but it's not possible with the squad we have. It is not possible for the rotation, for the fixtures. They're coming thick and fast, and with the World Cup coming up, some players might be down in tools or not performing as well because they want to save themselves for the World Cup to try and win the World Cup with their country, which is understandable. So really, what can we really say? So obviously the World Cup starts in a couple of weeks. I think it's 12 to 13 days until it starts now. So we haven't got long until the World Cup starts. So for me, I would challenge for top 4 in the Premier League. That would be my starting goal. And then I would try and see how deep we can go in the FA Cup. That is my opinion. I'm not too fussed about the Europa League, and I'm not too fussed about the Carabao Cup. But for me, I would like to try and win the FA Cup, and I would like to try and get top 4. But the Europa League, for me, isn't much. I'd personally just bin it off, because now that really gigantian teams have dropped down from the Europa League, have dropped down from the Champions League to the Europa League, it's made the competition 10 times harder. And normally these gigantic teams normally aren't in the Europa League. So normally the Europa League we look at and we're looking, oh, will be like the final 8 teams. But really, it's a very tough competition this season. You've got Arsenal, you've got Barcelona, you've got Juventus, you've got other teams that are obviously in the Europa League. Like Real Sociedad, they're a tough team to break down. So the competition isn't going to be easy. So for me, I personally would rather us sacrifice the Europa League and focus more on top 4 for the Premier League. But that is my personal opinion, because then United will then don't have to play that midweek game for Thursdays. So then we can have our Monday or Tuesday game and then play weekend, and that will help because instead of playing Monday or Tuesday, Thursday weekend, we're then only having 2 fixtures a week, and it will help the players out massively. And hopefully by then, that's when other teams start slipping up, because this World Cup year is absolutely ridiculous with the fact that it's in the middle of the season, and we've got European competitions, you've got the league competitions, and you've got the actual league themselves. So I really hope that there's never another winter World Cup again, because this has technically ruined the season in my eyes. So yeah, but as a whole, I'll just talk about Barcelona real quick. Obviously Barcelona were supposed to stay in the Champions League. It was quite a bit of a shock to me when I saw Barcelona drop out, because I really rate them. I've seen glimpses of what they've done in the La Liga this season. Obviously, Xavi is doing really well, challenging Real Madrid, and Barcelona is very neck and neck, I believe, at the moment. I think Real Madrid are a top and Barcelona are second. I'm not too sure. But they've dropped out the Europa League, so dropped out of the Champions League to Europa League. So maybe Xavi is doing what I've just suggested, where they kind of sacrifice the Champions League because they want to win La Liga. So who knows? But for me, I would personally sack off the Europa League, play the second team in them fixtures, and then just hope for the best, really. And if we get through, we get through. But Barcelona are a team that we can't underestimate. And yeah, that's all I've got to say, really. They've got world-class players. They've got Lewandowski, they've got Frankie de Jong, they've got Arejo, I think his name is, that's the Uruguayan centre-back. He's a class centre-back. I would love him at United. You've obviously got this young star Pedri and Xavi. You have Ansu Fati. So you have lots of quality players at Barcelona. So it will be quite nice, actually, for Frankie de Jong, who apparently didn't want to come to Manchester United because we had Europa League football, and then Barcelona have then dropped down to the Europa League and then firstly get Manchester United straight away. I would love it if we knocked out Barcelona. It would just be a massive slap in the face to Frankie de Jong, and he should have joined us in the summer. But anyway, if we got Frankie de Jong in the summer, we probably might have not got Casemiro or Antony. So we don't know. But anyway, that's just my opinion on the game. I feel like the fixture is a bit rigged, to be honest. I feel like United always seem to get these gigantian teams. So yeah, in hindsight, that's all I can really say. It's going to be a good fixture. But yeah, personally for me, as I've already said in the video, that I would sacrifice the Europa League. I don't think it's that big of an important competition. You don't really win much money from it. I think it's about 20 million, I think you earn from the full competition if you win it. So it's not much. So for me, I would just sacrifice it and go for top 4 in the Premier League. But yes, thank you for watching today's video. What are your thoughts on the draw? Who did you want to get? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're a United fan, City fan, Liverpool fan, whatever fan you are, in anywhere part of the world, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below for your fixtures, if you're in the Europa League or Champions League or even Conference League. So yes, thank you for watching today's video. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.